one extreme to another, what happened between boomers, Gen X, and our kids? Hi, Thrivers, welcome back. So, lately I've been thinking about healing, not just as individuals, but across generations. I've been reflecting on my own childhood. Growing up Gen X, raised by boomers, and let's be honest, a lot of us were latchkey kids, self sufficient by necessity, emotional needs often ignored, vulnerability seen as a weakness. And for many of us, especially in Black communities, our childhood was shaped by more than just latchkey living. We were raised during the height of the crack epidemic, a crisis that devastated families and neighborhoods. It wasn't just about being left alone after school, it was about watching our communities fall apart in real time. Parents and caregivers were dealing with addiction, incarceration, and economic collapse. The systems that were supposed to protect us, schools, healthcare, law enforcement, were often failing us or targeting us. So many Gen X kids were raised in survival mode, not just emotionally, but literally. We were taught to be quiet, strong, and dependent because vulnerability was a liability. And that trauma didn't just disappear, it traveled with us. And then when we became parents, it informed how we raised our children. Many of us making vows like, my kids will never feel like that, my kids will never this, never that, whatever it was, because we wanted them to be seen, to express themselves, to know their feelings mattered and that they were safe. But now, I'm wondering, did we swing from one extreme to another? And what are the results of that shift? Let's break it down. So, boomers were born between 1946 and 1964, and they came out of a world shaped by war, scarcity, and structure. Emotional expression wasn't a priority. It was about survival, order, and doing what had to be done. And then that was passed down to Generation X, us. So according to a Pew Research study, over 60% of Gen Xers reported being raised with an emphasis on independence and personal responsibility, but very little emotional validation. So when we became parents, we craved something different for our kids. In fact, a 2020 study shows in child development found that millennial and Gen X parents are more likely to value emotional expression and mental health support than previous generations. So we gave our kids what we never had: room to feel, space to express. But in doing that, have we unintentionally neglected the other side of the coin, which is resilience, frustration tolerance, and self-sufficiency? So Dr. Shefali, in her work on conscious parenting, talks about the danger of over-identifying with our children. Sometimes in trying to correct our own childhoods, we start parenting from pain, not from clarity. And it's not just emotional. In the recent American Psychological Association survey, teachers and college professors are reporting a noticeable drop in students' ability to manage stress, setbacks, or emotional discomfort. That doesn't mean that we failed, okay? It means we have an opportunity to reflect and recalibrate. I've had to check myself in this area as well, so I'm not saying anything that I haven't done, because I wanted my daughters to be soft, expressive, confident, and I believe I gave them what I didn't have. But I also have seen moments when I needed to teach them how to hold space for discomfort, how to be okay when things aren't easy. And the truth is, I had to learn these lessons, and they didn't come naturally to me because I was never taught how to regulate my emotions. I stuffed them down. So I had to learn to teach them what I still was trying to figure out myself. So let me ask some questions that I had to be asked. Are you parenting or leading or mentoring from a place of healing or a place of overcorrection? What traits do you admire from how you were raised, and which ones did you overcompensate for? Have we given our kids emotional freedom without the tools to navigate disappointment, delay, or difficulties? No shame, no blame, just awareness, because our awareness of this matter will lead us to balance. So, how do we find that middle ground? How do we raise children who are emotionally intelligent and resilient? This is what I was told, okay? So I was told that I should model emotional regulation. Let your kids see your process. You process your emotions. Let them watch you breathe through frustration or recover from disappointment. That's where resilience is taught. Let them struggle safely. Struggle doesn't mean suffering, but it does mean we don't jump in to rescue at every sign of discomfort. They need to practice working through challenges. Encourage accountability with compassion, of course. Emotional validation and responsibility can coexist. Kids can learn to say, yes, I felt that, and here's what I'm going to do about it. Stay curious and not controlling. Instead of leading with fear or guilt, lead with questions. How did that feel? What do you think you'll do differently next time? So curiosity, that teaches reflection, not shame. I believe that Gen X is the bridge generation. We hold the silence of the past and the loudness of the present. And maybe we didn't get it all right. And that's okay. But we are learning, we are healing, and we are still shaping the next generation with love, awareness, and a whole lot of grace. All right? So if this message spoke to you, share it with someone. And if you haven't yet subscribed and to be a part of this growing community, we're healing the past, nurturing the present, and raising the future together. Until next time, take care of yourself because you are so worth it.